Today we are going to solve questions of maths and physics from IMAT past paper 2020. So our very first question asks us to simplify the given expression, okay? So which of the following is equal to? So basically this expression is given to us and they are asking us to simplify this expression only. So how you're gonna solve these type of questions is very simple basically. So our initial thing would definitely be copying this question down as it is, right? So 2 by 2 plus radical 3. So of course for simplifying these types of questions, you just have to see the things in the denominator, right? So whether you have anything in the denominator that is under root, for instance this, right? So you have to basically simplify it by rationalization. Either you have this or you have, 2 by iota. If in the denominator your radical comes or your this iota means your this basically imaginary number comes, you are supposed to simplify these type of expressions by rationalizations. And how you're going to rationalize it? It's very simple. For instance, for taking this example first, 2 by 2 under root 2, right? So of course you have to write this as it is, and then you have to multiply and divide this under root 2 by both sides, okay, in the numerator as well and the denominator as well. This simple thing you'll be doing here as well. What you will be doing, this very simple again. So 2 upon 2 plus radical 3. So you have to take this entire thing from denominator and have to multiply in the numerator as well as in the denominator as well, okay? And what you have to do, you have to basically change the sign of the radical term as well. So whatever radical term you have, you just have to change the sign as well. For instance, if we had 2 upon 2 plus iota, so how you would have rationalized it? You would have rationalized it by 2, by taking this entire factor from the denominator and of course changing the sign of the imaginary number minus iota in the numerator as well as in the denominator as well. So this is what we call rationalization, right? So this rationalization you will be doing here as well. I mean, you have to change the sign of this radical term. You have to take this entire term from denominator, which is 2 plus radical 3, but of course radical 3 sign would be changed, so minus radical 3 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. Now you have to do nothing. If two terms which are in the fraction form are multiplying with each other, you just have to multiply numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator. So this 2 would be multiplied with this entire equation, right? So 2 minus radical 3 by, and of course you have to multiply these two terms as well, okay? So 2 plus radical 3 into 2 minus radical 3. Now you have to simplify it, and simplifying it is not very difficult, right? In the denominator, if we see, is basically one formula would be applied here, right? And what formula that would be? For instance, you must have heard about this formula. A plus b into a minus b would definitely be equal to a square minus b square. A square minus b square. So a plus b, a minus b. You just have to apply the formula in it, on it, right? So your a is basically 2, so 2 square, and then minus b square. Minus your b value is radical 3, and radical 3 square, of course. In the numerator, if see, this 2 would be multiplied with the both terms in the bracket. So 2 2s are 4 minus 2 into radical 3 is 2 radical 3. Let's simplify it. So in the numerator, we have 4 minus 2 radical 3, right? And in the denominator, 2 2s are 4. And of course, this square cancel with this root. What are we left with? Only 3. Simplifying it, we get 4 minus 2 upon radical 3 by 1, which means 4 minus 2 radical 3 is our answer. Let's see where we have 4 minus 2 radical 3, which is our B, right? So B option is the correct answer. Let's move towards our next question, which is of maths again. Okay, what are the coordinates of a turning point? So turning point is nothing but it is vertex, right? It is vertex of the graph of the quadratic equation. So quadratic equation, the graph of the quadratic equation is parabola, right? And parabola is something like this. It can be upward parabola, it can be downward parabola, it can be left sided parabola, or it can be right sided parabola as well. So these parabolas are basically the result of quadratic equations, right? So basically they are asking about the turning point, which means this point, right? This point, this point, and this point, and this point of the graph, this point of the parabola is what we call vertex, right? So these points are basically the vertex, and the plural of vertex is vertices, right? So these are basically vertex for now. I'm writing vertex here. Okay. So now we are supposed to find the vertex from this given equation. So of course we need to find the vertex, which means we need to find its x coordinate and its y coordinate as well. For finding the vertex, you need to have its coordinate points, right? So you have to find x coordinate as well as y coordinate. So for finding the x coordinate, we have the formula minus b upon 2a. If any quadratic equation is given to us, and for suppose this quadratic equation is given to us, what this quadratic equation is, y is equal to 2x square plus 5x minus 2. So this quadratic equation is given to us. For finding the x coordinate, you just have to apply this formula minus b upon 2a. So minus b upon 2a. What the b value is, I mean, if I compare this equation with our original equation, which is ax square plus bx minus c. This is the original equation that we have, okay? So we just have to find from here the b value, right? So b value is 5 right here. So minus, and b value is 5, of course, divided by 2a, right? So 2a value is what? 2. It's 2 again. So 2 into 2, which is minus 5 upon 4. So x coordinate is now with us. If we see this minus 5 upon 4 as the x coordinate in the options, so basically we are getting our 2 options, right? Which means we are supposed to find the y coordinate of our equation as well in order to, you know what, correctly guessing the answer. Okay, then now we are supposed to find the y coordinate, and now since you have x value, so you can put this x value in this y equation and you will have your y term. So y is equal to 2x square. So instead of x square, minus 5 upon 4 whole square plus 5x. So instead of x, I mean, we have written minus 5 upon 4 and then minus 2 we have. Okay, then now we are supposed to, you know what, simplify it. So y is equal to 2 5 5s are 25, minus minus would be converted into plus, so no need to write the sign now. And 4 4s are 16, right? Plus, okay, now plus minus is basically minus, right? And 5 5s are 25 by 4 minus 2. We have solved until here. Okay. Now y equals 2 1s are 2, 2 8s are 16, right? So 25 by 8 minus 25 by 4 minus 2. Now, of course, in order to simplify this all, we have to, find the LCM. We need to make the denominator common in order to add them or subtract them. So, of course, I can make this 4 into 8 by multiplying it 2. So, if denominator is multiplied by 2, numerator has to multiply by 2 as well. And if nothing is in the denominator of 2, there is always 1. Consider that, right? And we need to make this 1 as 8 as well. So multiply by 8, so numerator will be multiplied by 8 as well. So y equals 25 by 8 minus 25 into 2 is 50, right? So 50 by 8 minus 2 into 8 is 16 by 8. Now since denominator is same, you can simplify it. So 25 minus 50 is minus 25, and minus 25 minus 16 is minus 41, right? So our y coordinate is this. So minus 41 by 8, minus 41 by 8, let's see in the question, 54th, minus 41 by 8. So our B is the correct answer, right? Not A, because in the A option, the y coordinate is minus 41 upon 16. We don't have in the denominator 16. We have in the denominator 8, right? So we basically found our answer. Now our 55th question, right? Which is, a rocket is launched vertically from the surface of the earth. As it leaves the launch pad, the total mass of the rocket and its contents is m. The gravitational field strength at Earth's surface is g. The rocket motor provides an upward vertical thrust T to the rocket. Okay, fine. What is the initial vertical acceleration of the rocket as it leaves the launch pad? So basically they are asking us to find the acceleration, which is also initial, right? Not final. So basically what is upthrust? This upthrust vertical force. This upthrust vertical force is basically force which is required by this rocket in order to move in the upward direction, right? So whatever force is used by the rocket in order to move in the upward direction, okay, that is upthrust force, which is T, right? Which they have denoted by T. And upward thrust force is just force which is driving the rocket upward, right? And then weight is basically the force which is directed downwards, right? If we are supposed to find the net force, okay, net force, if I need to find, so basically suppose that I have a box here, right? Basically 5 Newton I am pushing it from the left hand side, and then 3 Newton I am again pushing it on the right hand side, from the right hand side to the left hand side. We are supposed to find here the net force on the box. So how we're gonna find the net force on the box? Of course that would be 5 Newton minus 3 Newton, right? 5 minus 3, and that would be 2 Newton. So 2 Newton is the net force on the box, right? After cancellation of the opposite forces, the force that is now left is what we call net force, right? So here of course your thrust minus weight would be your net force, right? So thrust is T, weight is mg. Okay, and we know the formula for finding the force, which we basically have driven from the second equation of motion. Whenever force is applied, the body is accelerated. Whenever the force is applied, the body that has mass m is accelerated, which means F is equal to ma, right? This formula we drove from second equation of motion. So instead of this F net, now we can substitute it by ma, right? Is equal to T minus mg. What are we supposed to find? We are just supposed to find this A, right? So of course we have to make this A alone. So A equals T minus mg by m. So now you can basically break this denominator and you can write this denominator m as in the denominator of T as well and in the denominator of mg as well. This is how you break the denominator, okay? So of course this m would be cancelled with this m. Our acceleration is now what? T by m minus g. This is what we are left with. So this is our answer. Let's see this in our options. So T by m minus g is our first option, which is the right answer. Now let's move towards fourth question, which is again very easy, not difficult at all. Given that an equation is given to us, what is the value of x? We are supposed to find the value of x. So this is again very easy. Let's write this entire equation as it is once into 1 by 4 power 3x equals 2 power x plus 3. Okay, we are just supposed to simplify this equation, right? We have to basically make the bases same in order to equate our exponents, right? For instance, if I have 2 power x equals 2 power 4, right? So since these both bases are same, we can equate these two exponents, which means x is equal to 4. If bases are same, you can equate the exponents. This is basically the simple rule, okay? Now see, 8 can be written as 2 power 3, right? 2 power 3 means 2 into 2 into 2. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. So I can write this 2 power 3, and of course this entire power would come as it is 2x plus 3 into 1 by 4 can be written as 2 power 2, right? 2 into 2 is 4. So 2 power 2 into 3x equals 2 power x plus 3. Let me erase this a bit. Okay. Now see, this power 3 would be multiplied with the entire bracket. So 2 into 3 is 6x plus 3 into 3 is 9, right? Into 1 by 2 power 2 3s are 6x again. Okay. Equals 2 power x plus 3. This is in the denominator. And if bases are same, for instance, this is power 6, this is power 2, bases are same, then you can write this base as 1s and then exponents would be subtracted. So 6 minus 2. This is the simple rule, right? So basically, since bases are same, so bases are written as 1. 6x plus 9 minus this denominator power, right? 6x equals 2 power x plus 3. 6x power plus minus cancelled. So 2 power 9 equals 2 power x plus 3. Now since bases are same, can we equate the equations? Can we equate the exponents, right? Of course we can. So x plus 3 equals 9. We are supposed to find the value of x only. So x is equal to 9 minus 3 is 6, right? So our value of x is 6. And we are done with our fourth question as well. Let's move towards the fifth question, which is 57th, right? Okay. So 39 male students and 36 female students were asked how many meals they had eaten in the school cafeteria during the first week of the term. The results are shown in the table. So mean of the number of meals which are eaten from males and females, and of course all the students, which mean total meal eaten, is given to us. We are supposed to find the value of x, which means we are supposed to find the mean number of meals eaten by female students, right? In order to find that, initially we are supposed to find the total mean, right? So total mean formula we have is that's total, or you can write here meal by total student, total number of students, right? So total students also makes sense. Total mean we are already given here. Okay, so 3 by 1, 3 whole 1 upon 5 equals total meal is basically meal which is eaten by male and eaten by female. So male meal and female meal, right? And total student means male number and female number, right? Now this whole can be written as 5 into 3, 15, and 15 plus 1 is 16, right? So 16 upon 5 equals male mean is 2, right? So 2 plus female meal is what? Female meal is x, right? So this formula, I would suppose we can use it later on. Initially, just find the meal of male, right? Because we are supposed to write here meal male, right? Which means mean male of meal or mean of male, whatever it is, right? So mean of male. And how are we supposed to find the meal of the male? The sum of the meal, right? Which I am writing as meal only here for now. And of course, total number of male students, since we are finding for male. And total number of male students is 39, right? So 39 is written. Now mean of male is already given, which is 2, right? So 2 equals, from here we'll find here male meal, right? 39. 39 is dividing here. When it will go there, it will be multiplied. So meal of male came out to be 2 nines are 18, 1, 2 threes are 6, 7, 78. Now we have found male meal, right? Now we are supposed to find female meal as well. So for finding the female meal, of course, we are supposed to use the same formula. So mean of female is equal to meal by total number of female we have is 36, right? And meal of female is given to us, which is x, right? And this meal is what we are finding. This is mean, not meal, upon 36. So meal of female would be 36x, right? Now we have got all the numbers. So we are just supposed to find, we are just supposed to substitute here the values, right? So 3 whole 1 by 5 can be written as 16 by 5, right? This I already explained. Since 5 into 3 is 15, 15 plus 1 is 16. So 16 by 5 is equal to male meal we have 78, female meal we have 36x, and in the denominator total number of student, which means male plus female, right? Male we have is 39 and female we have is 36. So 5,175. So 75 in the denominator, right? Now just let's simplify it and let's find the value of x. This is what we were supposed to find, right? So 5 ones are 5, 5 ones are 5, 2 is gone here, and then 5s are 15. Fine. Now you just have to do what? Cross multiplication. So numerator multiply by numerator, denominator multiply by denominator, not numerator multiply by numerator, but cross multiplication, right? So you just have to multiply cross. 16 would be multiplied by 15, and of course 1 would be multiplied by 78 plus 36, which would remain same. So we are not supposed to write it, right? Now of course if we multiply these two, 16 into 15, 5 6 are 30, 5 1s are 5, 8, okay, 1 6, 1 0 4 1 here 2, so 240 is equal to 78 plus 36x. 78 is plus, here of course it would go, there would be minus, right? So 30x is equal to 36x is equal to 240 minus 78, which is 240 minus 78, right? 3 here, 1 is gone here, 10 minus 8 is 2, right? And 23 minus 8, 3 4 16, 162. So 162, we are just supposed to find the x value. So 162 by 36. Now we just have to simplify it, right? So if we, divide it by 3 table. So 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, right? 3 5s are 15, and 1 here, 3 4s are 12. Again 3 table, right? 3 4s are 12, 3 ones are 3, 2 here, 8s are 24. And now 2 table, right? 2 twos are 4 and 2 nines are 16. So 9 by 2. If you see all the options are basically given in the whole form. So we are supposed to convert this whole form. So 2, if it gets multiplied by 4, 2 4s are 8, and 1 would be added to it, so that it would be 9 upon 2. So 4 whole 1 upon 2. 4 whole 1 upon 2. 4 whole 1 upon 2 is our right answer, which is option A. So we are done with this question as well. Let's move towards the next question. I don't remember what question it is right now, but let's just solve. It's a physics, right? A beaker contains 1000 gram of a liquid that is stirred at its boiling point. A 100-watt electric heater is completely immersed in the liquid. The heater provides the liquid with thermal energy, and 200 gram of the liquid changes to vapor in 1600 seconds. What's the specific heat, latent heat of evaporation? I've already given you the good concept of latent heat and specific heat. Okay, so I'm not now going to give I'm just telling you the a general background. Latent heat is basically the heat which is required to change the state of any matter, whether it is liquid. So if we have to convert that liquid into gaseous state, so we are changing the state, right? So whatever energy is required in order to change from liquid to gas would be our latent heat, right? So this is what latent heat is. So basically we are have to here find the latent heat, and the formula for finding the latent heat is energy per unit mass. This is the formula for finding the latent heat, right? The energy which is required to change the state of the matter. Now see, what things are we given with? We are given with power, so basically let's apply the formula for power. So power is equal to charge per unit time. In the terms of work, the formula for power was work per unit time, but in the electrostatics, okay, the formula for power is charge per unit time. So we are basically supposed to find here the charge because mass is already given to us, right? Mass is already given to us, which is here 200 gram. We are supposed to find here this energy, right? So energy is equal to power into time. Power is given to us, which is 100. Time is given to us, which is 1600. 1600, okay. Then charge comes out to be, or energy comes out to be, okay, 1,60,000 it is, right? Yes, it is 1,60,000. So basically now we have our energy. We are just supposed to find here the latent energy. So latent energy is equal to energy, which is this, right? Per unit mass, and mass is 200. Just cancel it. 0 0 cancel with 0. 2 ones are 2. 2 8s are 16, right? So L is equal to 8 and we are left with these two zeros. So 20. 800 joule, of course, because this is energy. So if we see this in the option, our answer is option D. 800 joule per gram, of course, would be the unit, because joule is the unit of energy, right? So joule, and the unit of mass is gram, so per unit gram, so joule per gram. Now we are going to solve our second last question, which is, okay, the diagram represents a concave mirror where F is the principal focus. So this F is the principal focus and F is the focal length, okay, the length between the mirror and the focus point is what we call focal length. So the mirror is used to produce an image of an object. This concave mirror is basically they are using in order to produce the image of something, image of any object. Which of the following statements are true? So basically we are supposed to find the true statements, right? So assume the mirror is parabola. Parabola means this shape, right? I told you about hyperbola. Hyperbola was the graph of the quadratic equation, which is this, right? This is parabola. Parabola is this, right? So this mirror is basically parabola, which is concave. So if we read the first option, incident ray traveling parallel to the principal axis always pass through focus after reflection. Incident ray means the ray which is coming, right? Which is coming, traveling parallel to the principal axis. This entire axis is what we call principal axis. So this incident ray is basically coming or moving in the parallel direction. After reflection, it passes through focal point. It passes through focal point. So yes, this is what concave mirror does. It basically reflects its incident ray through the focus point after reflection. This is what it does. So our option number 1 or statement number 1 is of course correct answer. Let's read the second statement. Incident ray passing through focus always travel parallel to the principal axis. Of course, this is again same thing. They are telling that the thing which is, passing through the focal point, it will be reflected parallelly to the principal axis. So this is again correct. So second option is correct. Now see, this concave mirror is used to produce the image which is imaginary, which is virtual, right? The image formed is always inverted. Inverted means, for instance, here we have mirror, right? And here I'm standing. If I am, raising my this right hand, this is my right hand, right? In the mirror, of course, my image is shown, and here, these are my hair, right? And here are gone my hair. Okay. So basically, my this hand would be raised, and regarding mirror, this hand would be my left hand, right? So if I am raising my right hand in the reality, but in the mirror, that image would be inverted, which means I'll see my left hand raised. Okay, so this is what inversion called. So they are saying the image which would be produced by this concave mirror would be imaginary. But since I've already told you, the image which would be produced by this mirror would be imaginary, would be virtual. So this could not be a right answer. The image formed is always real? Of course not. I just told you that would be imaginary, that would be virtual. The image formed is always larger. That would not be imaginary, but that would be upward, right? So I just mixed all the words. So virtual image would be formed, right? Which is upward. Which is upward. Okay, so of course that wouldn't be real. That would be virtual. The image formed is always larger than the object. No, sometimes it can be larger, sometimes it can be smaller. It basically everything depends on the focal length, whatever the length of the focus point and between the center of the mirror is. So basically what we got, our first statement and second statement is only the correct answer, which means option number D, right? 1 and 2 only. Nice color, by the way. Okay, last question. Yes. A boat crosses a river that is straight, parallel sides, and still water. Still water means the water which is not moving. The boat has a maximum speed of 4 meter per second. Now see, if you are in the river and you have a boat, right? So of course, since the water is still, water is not moving, it has its, of course, straight velocity, which is of 4.0 meter per second. 4.0 meter per second, at a maximum power. The boat is aimed at a point directly across the river from its starting point. So of course opposite to the river. The river flows at a constant speed. Now river is flowing, the water in the river is flowing, which means river current is produced, and due to that river current, the boat will get hit by that, water current. So instead of going straight, now this boat will go in this direction, of course in the straight direction, since it is aiming towards forward, so it would move forward. But since it would get hit by the water current, so it will, instead of going straight, that would either go here or it would either go here because of river current. So for here, I'm just supposing it would go here, right? So, and that with the speed of 3.0 meter per second. Okay. What is the speed of the boat as measured by a person stationary on the bank? Oh, sorry, this is not the speed, but that would be speed, right? 3.0 meter per second. That would be the speed basically. So yes, now we are supposed to find what is the angle. Of course, we are supposed to find the angle, and we are supposed to find the final speed, which is of course this, right? So of course here we have to apply the vector law of addition, since we are supposed to find here c, which is hypotenuse. So c square is equal to a square plus b square, right? C square is equal to base we have is this, right? Base we have is this, and this we have perpendicular, right? Which is perpendicular is written with b and base is written with a, right? So this is base we have, this is perpendicular we have. Okay, so a is basically 4 square, plus b is basically 3, so 3 square. We are just supposed to find c, not c square, so under root 4 4s are 16, 3 3s are 9. By adding these two we got 25 under root, which is 5 into 5, right? So when 25 comes out from the under root, the value is 5. So this is 5 we have, but we are supposed to find the angle as well. Let's find the angle by cos theta, right? So cos theta equals curly brown here, right? Which means base upon hypotenuse. So cos theta equals, base is 4, right? Hypotenuse just came out 5. We are supposed to find only theta. So theta is equal to, cos is multiplying with theta here. When it will go there, it will be cos inverse, right? Upon 4 minus 4 upon 5. So speed came out to be 5 meter per second and angle is 4 by 5. So yeah, A is the correct answer we have. So we solved all the questions from past paper 20.